Welcome to the Cuentas Cine Youth Fest Film Chat. I'm your host, Raymond Arturo Perez. We are proud to be part of the HITN TV, the leading Spanish language non-commercial network serving over 35 million households in the U.S. and Puerto Rico. HITN provides high-quality educational and entertaining content that empowers the Hispanic community. Tu Cuentas is not just a festival, it's a vibrant community of young storytellers committed to shaping a more inclusive future in film and television, both in front and behind the camera. Before we start, I encourage you to visit our website at cineyouthfest.org to check out the top 10 film submissions before we announce the top 3 winners on October 16th. Don't miss the chance to see these incredible filmmakers this year. Your support means everything to them. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we get started, here's a little bit about me.
Raymond Arturo Perez describes himself as a Mexican-American brown nerd from San Antonio, Texas. His friends and family can attest to these facts. He earned his nerdom 7 years in band as an alto saxophonist and 2 years as a drum major. He considers himself a late 90s, early 2000s gay Latino Drew Barrymore, in that his characters often think they have to be like the cool kids, only to discover that their power is in being their authentic nerdy selves. Raymond received a BS in radio, television, film, and BBA in marketing from UT Austin in 2014, and received a Master of Fine Arts in screenwriting from the American Film Institute in 2019. As a queer Latina writer, Raymond aims to further drive representation in film and television by telling stories of Latinx, queer people, and other underrepresented and historically marginalized communities. He was a staff writer on the second season of Netflix's original series, Selena. He was a playwright and producer at the 2018 Brown and Out Fest in LA. In 2022, Raymond was selected as a finalist for the inaugural Stars #TakeTheLead Writers Intensive for his pilot, Chola Ma. In 2021, his pilot, The Only Gay in Waco, placed him as a finalist for the inaugural Out Loud list. In 2023, he was selected to be part of Sony's Diverse Television Writers Program. Early this year, he was part of the Latino Filmmakers Network at the Sundance Film Festival. Raymond is currently working on his first short film directorial debut. When he isn't writing at his table, he can be found on the dance floor, dancing to Brazilian funk, cumbia, merengue, and bachata in that order.
I'm super excited to have today's conversation. Without further ado, I want to introduce our first guest, Dean Huertas.
Proud Nuyorican living in Bayamón, Puerto Rico, Dean Huertas is a Boricua influencer and activist popular for using his platform to unite his culture with other cultures around the world by creating videos that connect Puerto Rico with other nations via history or sports. A full-time content creator that has been featured in Time Magazine, CBS Studios, New York One, and NBC News. Dean started his career in 2015 by just having fun creating lip-sync videos on Musical.ly, the precursor of TikTok. Before moving permanently to Puerto Rico, he only visited Puerto Rico for long vacations or short trips. Eventually, he bought a one-way ticket to the Isla del Encanto. After moving to the island, he started working with local and national brands, well-known actors, influencers, and musicians in the community. His goal has always been reconnecting Puerto Ricans born and raised outside Puerto Rico who feel disconnected from their roots, and native-born Puerto Ricans who don't know the struggles and history of the Puerto Rican diaspora. His future goals include the creation of a channel or a show that will touch topics of Puerto Rican culture, food, politics, and pop trends.
Howdy, Dean. How are you doing?
How you doing, big dog? I'm so happy to be here. What an intro. I didn't expect this at all. So, wow. Tip my hat off to you guys. No at all. Living in Puerto Rico, you know, you have nothing but a party every single day out here. But nonetheless, I'm super happy to be here with you.
Likewise, I'm excited to get to chatting with you. But before we do, I want to go ahead and introduce our second guest, Edison Lopez, aka Señor Edison.
Edison Lopez was born in Margate, Florida, to Puerto Rican parents. He is known across social media as Señor Edison. He began creating content on TikTok at the age of 17 as an outlet for his passion for video creation. Lopez found his niche with his first viral video, The Puerto Rican Kid at School, a video he created in response to the lack of Puerto Rican representation on TikTok. Recognized for his storytelling and editing style, Lopez has collaborated with various brands including Verizon, Adidas, Amazon, and McDonald's, and has been featured in various media outlets, including ABC News Live, Vice, New York Times, Telemundo, and NPR. Señor Edison realized how important it was to open people's eyes to the richness of their own culture. He never thought he would become sort of a professor, but when you stumble upon his content, you're in for a surprise. You're about to get a history lesson. With his unique comedic style, he educates people about the influence that African and indigenous ancestors played in modern-day Latino culture. He takes viewers on journeys with the promise of discovery. He graduated from Florida Atlantic University with a degree in communications, multimedia, and film.
How are you doing today, Edison?
I'm doing awesome. I've never gotten to something so cool like that video.
Yeah, they're always kicking it up a notch here at the Cuentas. It's really a pleasure to have you both here today. Today's film chat on collaborations between filmmakers and social media content creators. In an era where digital storytelling is more important than ever, filmmakers are partnering with social media influencers to innovate their techniques and reach wider audiences. Today I have both of you, and I'm excited for y'all to share your insights on how these collaborations are shaping the future of storytelling in film and social media. To start things off, in what ways do you think social media can be used as a tool for positive cultural representation and storytelling?
I'll go first. I think of like the Puerto Rican Day Parade. That's where I see him every year. And with Dean, that's a way where we all collaborate. All the Puerto Rican influencers get together, celebrating our heritage. We all make videos together. And yeah, people love it. People dig it. We all Puerto Ricans, we love our culture. So when we're together, we're a bomb.
Absolutely, absolutely. I believe it's also really just telling about how the representation should be shown, what the community has to offer to not just within our own community, but a community around the world, maybe in various other cultures that feel identified with certain communities outside. But I believe it's key to have people like Edison, people like a whole bunch of other actors, directors, film movie makers to give the representation that we deserve, not from the outside perspective, but from the inside. That's my belief.
And what is it, in y'all's opinion, that you think your approach to filmmaking is connecting with audiences? For example, I know both of y'all use humor, education, and kind of mend these two things together. What are the videos that you think shine more than the others?
I think giving it giving your personality, but also being relatable, so people follow you. I'll post on my story organic content when I'm doing it throughout the day, and so people can see that we're literally a normal person. We're just trying to make a content to teach or to get feedback from your comments as well, and interact with the people who support you.
Absolutely. Same. I definitely believe that when there's something missing in the community, you want to fill that void in whatever aspect that looks like, in terms of comedy, politics, history, something that not everybody knows, that you can be the source and a reliable source at that, to sort of fill in that void, be like, oh, mate, this is a reliable person, this is a reliable source, and you want to be that face. You want to be in the front lines to giving that information that's public out there to the community, and whatever that looks like.
And as y'all are balancing creating in a social media space and in a filmmaking space, and kind of how those lines start to blur, can you talk a little bit about the similarities and differences?
I'm trying to up my game with the content creation and everything. So these past trips to Puerto Rico, I've been using my Sony camera. A lot of my filmmaker friends have suggested that's how they start with. So I'll just make my videos with that camera, and I guess. I made an interview with my grandma, and I'm like, oh, this is almost like film, but it's vertical, and I post it on TikTok. So.
Right. I feel like in terms of parallels, I think a lot of it really boils down to time and dedication and how you want the video to come out. Because for me, I can spend like hours trying to perfect a video that can only be like 45 seconds to 90 seconds long. And if it doesn't come out the way I want it, I will devote myself to like 4 more hours just to make sure I get this one video right. Because I just feel like it's similar in the movie industry, in the filming industry. I'm pretty sure you know, Raymond, that you got to take the time to make sure that you still get the message across, no matter how much time and effort that looks like. I believe that's the similarity that we have, especially in the content creating community.
Absolutely. Edison, you mentioned the Puerto Rican Day Parade. I'm curious, with events like that, how are other ways that you all collaborate with other creators or influencers, both within your community as well as outside?
We hang out in Puerto Rico every time I travel. I tried, I run into Dean all the time. But, since we do make our videos about Puerto Rican history and stuff like that, when I go to Puerto Rico, I try to get as much history as I can. My cousin has a farm in Morovis, and I made a video about how 90% of the food in Puerto Rico is imported. So, making videos trying to highlight, the agriculture and stuff, so people do apoyar a lo local. I don't know how to say that in English.
Support local.
Yes.
Support locals. Yes. Dean, you take the lead.
No, I feel like every time we link up too, it's like we never have the idea that we're trying to force collaboration. If something comes to mind, they'd be like, yo, you want to do this? Let's do this. If it works, it just works. Because me and Edison, we hung out millions of times, but in terms of like videos or content creator, you very see not so often that we do collabs, because we want it to feel natural and organic. And if we want to do it into something that works well with our brands overall, it's more like, hey, I got this, you want to do it? And it's like, dale, vamos por encima. And then we just bang it out in terms of establishing a stronger relationship through the times we've hung out. We've gone exploring together. And if he has an idea for content, for a video that he wants to film, like I'll help him in whatever he wants to do in terms of like whatever favor he needs, I'm there. And I know for a fact that he'll reciprocate that same energy if anything comes to my mind. When we're on our random adventures to the mountains, to the beach, to Old San Juan, you name it, we're there.
You took me to my first bomba.
Yeah, that's right. We did our cultura. Yes, we did.
That's amazing. When's the last time y'all were able to hang out in the same space?
Right before my birthday.
I came in July, yeah.
Right before my birthday, I was telling him, yo, I got this video idea. This was the last time I really would collab. I got a video idea. I said, yo, I want to say my age, and then you go, damn. And then that was something I wanted to present to him. And then I told him I'm turning 28. And then literally he goes, damn. I'm just like, this is literally a video. And so we ended up doing that same video, and it worked out just like
I'm just kidding.
Not even me saying what I wanted to do. He already got the message, and then we just did it like that. So it worked out in our favor.
Yep.
Switching gears, I think the unique thing about like social media is unlike beforehand, where you kind of had to wait to see the box office numbers or wait till season 2 to come out, this, that, and the other. Social media is such an immediate response. You get feedback, you get comments, responses immediately. And I'm curious, as creators, to what degree do you guys allow that to influence or shape your future creations, and just kind of go into the creative process behind that?
So I feel like a lot of times I get discouraged. Like if I put a lot of effort into a video and then it doesn't do so well, I guess, in the first day, or it compared to you get in your head about like numbers and stuff like that. But then I remind myself, it's like quality over quantity. And so like I like to make my history lessons and educate people on things that interest me. And then sometimes they blow up, and sometimes I realize, I got to get back into that. So I'll stop making those videos. So quality over quantity. I know a lot of people, some seasons don't do so well, and then they cancel them. And the people I saw on TikTok today, they were like, why don't we give it time? Because like things like Stranger Things, they blow up. So I guess just, keep it consistent, and yeah, just do what you like.
I feel like for something that helped shape my content creation, there's a lot of people that can't really hear as well, whether they're deaf or they just have hearing problems. I've taken the advice from a lot of people that comment on my videos to incorporate subtitles, whether that's in English or Spanish. I do it so that people can understand what I say because I recognize that I speak very quickly. That's a New York habit that I'm trying to break. But at the same time, it's part of who I am. So if I can't change in that aspect, I'll still be conscious as to how I can still add the subtitles for people who don't understand what I say. Or if I switch to Spanish, I'll put the English subtitles, things along that nature to let it be known that if you can't hear the video, that you could still see the video, it works out. Or even vice versa. I speak fast, but people who can't see can still hear very well. And as long as I enunciate my words, I make sure I get the point across, then like I did the mission, whether the video's a bop or a flop.
And kind of taking a step back, I wanted to discuss, like, are there films, television shows, other creators that have significantly influenced your creative journey?
I remember being in high school and there was this like film that I saw on YouTube. It was about like Hurricane Maria, and it was shot by Cristian Mercado, and then the actress in it, Mela Murder. She's also in this movie called The Florida Project, and I was a huge fan of those films from like A24 and stuff. And then recently, like, she followed me, and then we connected, and then we FaceTimed, and I was like, oh my god, I've been a fan of you since like Palante, like the short film that you guys did. And so just talking to her, and then she gave me Christian's like connect on Instagram, and then we DM. He gave me his number, so like I feel like it merges because, you know, we're creating content about our culture, and we're all Puerto Rican, so the community, you know, we always have our back.
Hey. Now,
And Dean,
I feel
how
like
about you?
for my biggest influence was dating back to like '07 when Daddy Yankee dropped Talento de Barrio. Like, he was we're already talking Daddy Yankee. That was my movie. I watched that religiously. That was like the only solid evidence or piece I had to like Puerto Rican like filming industry, movie scenery, or even just culture in general. Granted, it was about like the hip hop struggle, rap and gangster violence movie, but I just loved it so much and I identified with the only piece of evidence that I had. And now I live here, and as I got older, then Netflix started expanding and tapping into the Latin industry. One of my favorite shows that honestly I didn't even expect to be my favorite show was Gentified. That show was just like giving a different representation of Latin struggles, but still seeing the similarities, whether it's in California, Florida, or New York. It's just like, wow, like we have more that unites us than divides us. And I feel like with the show like Gentified, that just like it honestly solidified that relationship for me. So those are the two biggest impacts I had.
Thank you for sharing y'all's inspirations. I am now curious to see where y'all are headed to next. If y'all could share maybe a collaboration or project that you're really excited to get out there for audiences to see.
Well, first time ever doing a cameo in Puerto Rico. That movie has released. It's called oh my god, I don't even remember the name. It's off the top of my head. All I do remember is that I want to tap into the filming industry in Puerto Rico since I've been living here a couple of years already, and I've established connections, resources, and granted, all my content is always online, but I think the next steps for me is to tap into the filming industry out here, and that's something I'm really excited about.
Amazing, congrats. Edison, how about you?
Well, Dean, I'm gonna follow you, and you're gonna be my mentor because me and Dean have the same interests. But I think I'm gonna tap more into interviews. I want to do more interviews with musicians. I had a podcast last year for Amazon, so interviewing artists, get into my media game, and then I would love to create short films of my own and be in films. I have to take some acting classes now that I've graduated, I have more free time on my hands, so just learn more and then make content more.
And for both of you, y'all are killing it, and a lot of the people watching are wanting to get into the digital space, wanting to create, do you have any advice for them, for folks just starting out?
Oof. Folks just starting out. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. Fail forward. Fail forward. If you are afraid to fail, then you might as well not even start at all. Be afraid to fail. Like, it's like key in success. If you didn't hear any success story without a failure, that would be a complete lie. It's okay to fail. It is okay to mess up. It's okay to get some things wrong. You're still growing. You're still human. And the fact that you're willing to take the leap and to take that step forward into becoming a better version of yourself, you're already on your way up. And I just tip my hat off to anybody who's ready to fail forward. That's my tip.
I would say choose what you want to do and live your life for yourself. Like, don't be selfish, of course, be humilde, but like, choose what you want to do. Like, for example, like when I started school, I started as a bio major, and then I changed my major like 3 times because this was the time I was like, blowing up on social media at first, and so like my interest shifted, and so I always had an affinity to like content creation and filmmaking, but I was always like embarrassed to, like, I don't know, ask my parents or something. But then I got into TikTok, and then I blew up, and then my parents now support me because they thought of it as like a distraction. But now a lot of people are like scared because they're in the arts or something, y eso no paga or whatever. But no, you know what you want to do, and if you have a passion for it, you're gonna do awesome in it.
Yeah, same here. There's literally, I got into so many fights with my father about this. Like, I was just like, Dad, you don't see this is right here. He's just like, no, I need you to help me clean the house. You got to get a job full time. I'm just like, this is my job. It's just, we're not there yet. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you, Edison.
I feel you too. That wraps up our time today. And I want to thank you both for y'all's time and y'all's knowledge. For everyone watching at home, thank you so much for joining us again. As a reminder, you have until October 16th to check out all our official selections for this year's festival. On October 16th, we'll find out our grand prize winner as well as our top 3 overall films. I'm super excited. Make sure you go out and check those films out today, right now, cineyouthfest.org. Yep. With that said, thanks again to y'all. On behalf of Tu Cuentas, see y'all soon.
Thank you for having us.
Ciao.
And here's a special shout out to our sponsors. Thank you.
Thanks to our sponsors, we continue to have important conversations that educate and inspire the most valuable asset for a brighter future, the new generation of Latinx creatives. Visit cineyouthfest.org to find out more, because Tu Cuentas. Powered by HITN.